So welcome to Battle Report number 16, where the Shadow Warriors meet the Possessed in a special Halloween scenario. So this is the table we will play on. It's been unchanged from the last game. Starting for the Shadow Warriors is Lord Lear himself, the Shadow Master. He's got a helmet, a set of light armor, a dagger, a sword, a longbow and a lucky charm. And in the henchman section we got Rumil and Roof, the two Shadow Warriors. Both got a free dagger, two swords and a longbow. Leading the way for the Possessed is Hannibal in the hero section. He got old battle wounds, but as on roll of 5 he can't participate in the game. He's equipped with a free dagger and two swords, and he has an additional arm which grants him +1 attack. He's followed by the two beastmen, Cluck and Click. They are both equipped with a dagger and a hammer. The Shadow Warriors have won the roll-off and so will set up first. So the Shadow Warriors have chosen this side of the table. They have deployed their forces. Roof is on the left side, just beside a pumpkin patch. And in the middle we have the two other Shadow Warriors also beside a pumpkin patch. So the Possessed are on the opposite side, concentrating their forces in the middle of the table. The Possessed win the roll on a 6 and will begin the game. Every one of the Possessed make their run test and they come streaming forward towards the Morrstone Monolith. Before even starting the game, the Shadow Warriors search the pumpkin patches, beginning on left hand side with Roof, and he got lucky. On an 8 he finds a true sight prism, allowing the warband to reroll one of the dice in the exploration phase. And in the middle, Rumil, he even get more lucky. On a 12 he finds the jack-o'-lantern, and so he gains +2 experience. After pillaging the pumpkin patches and after successful run tests, the whole warband runs forward. Click makes his run test and runs towards the monolith to chop a piece off. Cluck, on the other hand, he fails his test, and on a 9 he just moves forward with half of his movement rate. And the mutant also fails the test, and on a 7 he hears a strange noise and just stands still. With a click on the monolith and on a roll of 2, the first zombie appears. Before moving again, Roof searched the pumpkin patch besides him, and on 11 he got lucky once again and he finds a magic potion, granting him +1 strength, +1 to his initiative and +1 to critical hits until the end of the game. Roof makes his run test on a 4 and runs towards the monolith. No test needed for the other two Shadow Warriors, as the normal movement is enough to get in contact. As the Shadow Warriors try to steal some of the warpstone, and on rolls of 4 and double ones, 4 new creatures appear on the board. 2 of the zombies just wandering around, but the other 3 make it into close combat. Beginning with this one, he attacks Hannibal the Possessed. Hannibal, he passes his fear test. The zombie he tries to strike but fails to hit on a 1. Then Hannibal, he strikes back with his 2 attacks, getting 2 hits with the sword, getting 2 wounds, but as the zombie can't be stunned, he only goes to ground. Then the other 2 zombies here. The first one, he attacks Rumil. He makes his fear test. The zombie hits him. The parry isn't made. He is wounded and he goes to ground before he can react. And in the last combat here, the Lord Lear, he doesn't make his fear test, so only hits on 6s. but the zombie can't hit him, and in return he gets no 6. Cluck fails his run test, and on a 5 he runs 4 inches in a random direction. Meanwhile, Hannibal, who's locked into close combat with the zombie on the ground, he can't wound him with all of his 3 attacks. And meanwhile, Click, he's sneaking away from the monolith with 1 piece of wheatstone. Romil, who got his piece of wheatstone, is moving away from the monolith towards the table edge. Meanwhile, Ruf got up from ground, therefore he strikes last, but the zombie fails to hit. In return, the Shadow Warrior gets a hit, but fails to wound. In the other close combat, Lord Fanner, he gets a hit with the dagger. He wounds. The armor save due to the dagger is failed, and he takes the zombie to ground. One of the zombies still wanders around, but the other one, he joins into the close combat with Hannibal. This time Hannibal doesn't make his fear test. The zombie strikes first but doesn't get a hit. Hannibal, he strikes back against the zombie that just stood up from ground. Needing 6s, he got 2 of them with a sword, wounding once and taking the zombie out of action. Then here in the close combat, the zombie, he fails to hit. Then the Shadow Warrior strikes back. He gets 1 hit with the sword. Thanks to his magic position with +1 to his strength, he wounds the zombie and takes it out of action. In this close combat, Lord Fanner, he doesn't get a hit. In return, the zombie managed to hit him. The parry is failed, but the hit was too weak. Click moves further away with his piece of wheatstone, trying to secure it. Meanwhile, Hannibal, he gets 2 hits against the zombie, wounding him twice and taking him to ground as he can't be stunned. Then Cluck over here, he moves into close combat with the Shadow Warrior. He gets 1 hit with the club, but the parry is made. In return, the Shadow Warrior, he strikes back, getting 2 hits. Thanks to his +1 to the strength, he gets a wound and takes 1 wound off the Beastman. Ruf is furious after being attacked by the Beastman, and he strikes first, getting 2 hits. Thanks to his magic potion, he gets 1 critical hit and 1 normal, and he takes the Beastman out of action. In the other close combat, finally, Lord Fanner, he gets hit with the dagger. He wounds the zombie critically and takes him out of action. Meanwhile, Romil, he made his run test and runs towards the board edge. The zombie here on 2, still wandering around and moving 4 inches in a random direction. In the close combat here, this zombie has got up from ground, but Hannibal, he strikes first, but only manages 1 hit, though this one wounds and takes the zombie out of action. After having slain the zombie, Hannibal, he makes his run test and runs towards the monolith to chop a piece off. Meanwhile, Click, he also makes his run test and runs towards the board edge, nearly reaching it. While another living creature chops off a wheatstone, and on a roll of 5, 3 new zombies appear on the board. While Romil makes it off the table with the first wheatstone shard for the Shadow Warriors, his comrade Ruf and Lord Fanner move away from the monolith with their piece of wheatstone. 2 of the zombies doesn't find their prey, but this one does. He attacks Hannibal, who passes his fear test, and the zombie doesn't hit him. Enraged, Hannibal strikes back, gets 2 hits with the sword, a wound, and takes him instantly out of action. This zombie, he attacks Lord Fanner, which again fails his fear test. but the zombie fails to hit, and in return, needing 6s, Lord Fenner can't hit the evil creature. With a normal move, click makes it off the table, securing the first warpstone shard for the possessed. Rolling for reinforcements, the initiates arrive, Herman and Harry. They are both equipped with double daggers and a bow. So with a free run movement, both come on the table. Harry runs towards the pumpkin patches, searches them, and on an 8 he finds a true sight prism, so granting the warband a re-roll on the exploration phase. And Harry, he makes his run movement here. Meanwhile, Hannibal, he moves away from the monolith, having secured his warpstone shard. With a successful run move, Ruth runs towards the table edge. Meanwhile, here in the close combat, Lord Fenner, he strikes against the zombie. He gets 2 hits, 2 wounds. The armor save due to the dagger is failed, and the zombie is taken out of action. On a 1, this zombie does not find his prey, but the other zombie he does. He attacks Hannibal the mutant, who makes his fear test. However, the zombie can't hit him on a 1. In return, Hannibal, he hits the creature twice with his swords. He gets 2 wounds and takes the zombie to ground. Herman makes his run move and runs towards the Morrstone Monolith. However, Harry, he fails his test, and on a 6 he's just marching 2 inches forward. Here in the close combat, easy game for Hannibal. As the zombie is on the ground, he gets 3 critical hits, and adding +2 on the injury roll, he takes him out of action. With a 5 on his run test, Ruth makes it off the table, securing the second warpstone shard for the Shadow Warriors. As the whole henchman group is off the table, randomly comes another henchman group on. In this case, it's the 2 Shadow Warriors, Gaida and Darmin. They are both equipped with 2 daggers and a longbow. After having slain the zombie, Lord Fenner moves 4 inches towards the table edge, from which the 2 new Shadow Warriors come on with a free run move. With no enemy within 8 inches, the zombie just wanders around 4 inches. Hannibal the mutant moves 4 inches towards the table edge to secure the warpstone shard. The 2 initiates both fail their run test. First, Harry, on a 5, he moves 4 inches in a random direction. His comrade Herman, on a 6, he can well run the whole way, but he's hit by falling stones and he counts as gun to ground. Lord Fenner makes a successful run move and makes it almost off the table, just needing a couple more inches. Also, Gaida makes a successful run move towards the pumpkin patches. He searches them, and on a 6 he finds Batwing crunches, which grant him a +1 to his toughness, but on a 6 it will only be until the end of the game. Darim also runs forward towards the pumpkin patches, and by searching them he got a 10, so it's an explosive device with blender powder. He will get 2d6 hits, so 3 hits, and he's wounded once and he goes to ground. On a last roll of a 1, he will only be blended for 1 round. The zombie takes advantage of Herman, the initiate, who's on the ground. He attacks him and takes him out of action. Having suffered 2 casualties already, the possessed opt for a tactical retreat to minimize their losses. So beginning the post-game sequence by the winning warband, the Shadow Warriors. They could roll 7 dice in the exploration phase thanks to the straggler they found in the last game, who allows them to roll 1 more dice and in your one of the results. That's the one. And they could re-roll 1 of the dice thanks to the true side prism they found. So that was the 4, resulting in a 6. So at the end they found 5 weirdstone shards plus the 2 weirdstone shards from the scenario, which means they have now 7 of them. In addition, on double 2s they found a shop where on a 1 they get an additional 6 gold crowns, and on triple 6s that means returning a favor, so they can hire a hired sword for free for the next battle and also choose to keep him after that if they pay the upkeep costs. Nostradamus possessed only had 5 dice to roll, also could re-roll 1 of the dice thanks to their true side prism they found, a 3 resulting in a 3 again. So that means they got now 4 weirdstone shards from the scenario plus the 1 weirdstone shards, giving them a total of 5 shards. In addition, on double 2s they also find a shop, and on a 2 they got 3 gold crowns. So no injury rolls for the Shadow Warriors as there were no casualties. But the 2 rolls on the injury table for the possessed. First up, the initiate Herman. On a 2, he is found dead. The Beastman Cluck, he survives on a 3. A decent amount of rolls on the advancement table for the possessed. First up, Nostradamus the Magister. On a 7 he can choose between weapon skill and ballistic skill, so he chooses +1 to his weapon skill. Then Hannibal the Mutant, he got 3 rolls, so the first one is a 6 followed up by a 5, which means +1 attack. Then an 8 followed up by 1, +1 to his initiative. And finally a 4, a new skill, so he chooses the sprint ability. Then Josie, the other mutant, on a 3, he also gets a new skill and he chooses Step Aside, granting him a 5-up save in close combat. And finally in the henchman section, the 2 beastmen, on an 8 they got +1 attack. So 5 rolls on the advancement table for the Shadow Warriors. First up, Lord Fenner. On a 6 followed up by a 5, he got +1 attack. Next up, Haldir, the Shadow Walker. He got also a 6 followed up by another 6, so also +1 to his attack. Arven, the Sorcerer, he got a 4, so a new skill, and he chooses Sorcery, so +1 to cast a spell. In the Henchman group we have Rumwheel and Roof. On a 9 they got +1 to their leadership, and finally Gaida and Darim. On a 5 they got +1 strength. Lord Fenner sells 7 of his 8 weirdstone shards, giving them 120 gold crowns, plus the 8 they have in the bank. They have quite something to spend. First of all, they purchase a helmet and a set of light armor for Firion. Then Haldir and Elrus, they both also get a helmet. And then they invest in 2 new members of the warband, so 2 novices. The first one is equipped with a 3 dagger and a spear, and the second one got a dagger, a shield and a sword. So the Shadow Warriors are now at 11 members and a warband rating of 171. Nostradamus sells 5 of the 6 weirdstone shards for 90 gold crowns, plus the 4 gold crowns they have in the bank, meaning they can spend 94 gold crowns. And on a recruitment roll of 9, they can add new brethren to the existing group to replace the one who died. He will be equipped with 2 daggers and a bow. And then they add Dark Soul to the warband. He will have a 3 dagger, an axe and a club. So they finish off with 6 gold crowns in the bank. So Nostradamus' possessed warband grows to 11 members and a warband rating of 136. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This was a shorter one, and until next time.